Okay, next up, we need to do with our photos with portraits. We can do some basic blemish correction and a little bit of brightening of the eyes and the teeth. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to open up a photograph that we can use, and you guys all have this in Viscom already, and this is of this girl's face up close. Okay, so if we want to do some basic blemish correction, here's what we need to do. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make a copy of that background layer by pressing Command J. And oops, let me go through that. Command J. And then I'm just going to double click on that text and I'm going to call this my blemishes layer. All right. So now I know I'm working on blemishes there. And to fix any basic blemishes, I'm going to go right over here. And that is going to be the spot healing brush tool. You notice it also says the letter J there. So if I want to use that tool and be a total Photoshop player, I go J, and that gives me this little circle thing right there. And what this is just a brush. Okay, now if I want to make it larger or smaller, I can look down at the keyboard, and the two letters that are next to, or the symbols next to the P, which is a left bracket and right bracket. When I hit right bracket, it gets larger. Left bracket, it gets smaller. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and because you always want to work up close. Remember, noobs work from too far away. Photoshop players, Viscom players always get up close. Okay, and I'm going to make this thing a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to click and go to the places where we can see some blemishes there. Maybe I'll even get rid of moles that are on there and all that. Probably don't need to do that, but I just want to show you what this thing is capable of doing. And I'm just kind of moving around and getting a couple things. I don't want to remove all of her freckles or anything like that, but just some of them. And again, this is really just so that you can see what this is, what's going on here, and how we can do this, and what it's capable of doing. Um, Chin area is a little rough. If you click on it, it might clear it out a little bit. There's a better tool for that. We can talk about that later, the patch tool. And so I'll do a few more things like that. All right. So now if I zoom back out again, all right. And what I can do now is why you make another layer is that you can turn a layer off by hitting that little eyeball. So you can see after, see before, after, before, after, before, after. Pretty significant difference. Okay. I'm going to leave her chin alone. Everything else looks fine. I just want to remove some basic things there. And then I'm going to go over to this layer and I'm going to press Command J and make a blemishes copy. But this one right here is going to be my teeth and eyes. Okay. So now I'm going to brighten your teeth and eyes. So if you have a photograph where you have up close and you can see your eyes and you can see your teeth and you want to make them just a little bit brighter, this is the best way to do it. Okay. We're going to go over here on our toolbar and we're going to go to this tool right here, which is the dodge tool. And look at this. They even show that cool dog. And basically what this is showing is whatever you paint over, it's going to make it lighter. It's going to make it brighten it up a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go to that dodge tool and I can hit O on my keyboard to select it. All right. I've got my midtones at 50%. That's probably about how we want to start. And look, I've got the same brush thing again, right? So I'm going to zoom in real quick here. Let's go to our eye and we're on the correct layer. We are. Now watch this. I got this thing here. I might just go ahead and make it just about as big as the eye itself. Then I can't mess it up. Okay. And I'm going to click. Think about that. I'm going to click one time and it just got a little bit brighter. Okay. I'm going to go over here to this eye and I'm going to click one time and it got a little bit brighter. So now let's go over here and do that same thing we did before, that before and after. So there's before, after, before, after. Not a huge difference. You can also, if you want to make this thing smaller, you can click and drag and paint around. Just know that every time you do it, it makes it lighter every single time you click and drag on it. So this time it's making it lighter. And you want to be careful with that because anything if you go too harsh with it, it'll be really noticeable. Like I think that second time around is a little much. Like I think one time would be good because you can see the before and after. It's a little much. Okay, but this is just for purposes of showing you how to do it. Okay, how about teeth now? So let's get closer to our teeth and let's go back to our dodge tool. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to click and hold down my mouse button and just paint over the areas where her teeth are. Try to stay away from her gums and her lips. Okay, I'm just painting. And she has really bright teeth already, so this is kind of over the top. It's probably too much. And then back here, my brush is too big, so I'm just going to make my brush smaller and paint with a smaller brush down there, right? Good. Zoom back out. Now if we go before and after, there it is. Okay, that's the entire thing. What we did is we removed some blemishes and then we went let's go to this one, that to that, right? pretty significant difference. I don't like the eyes and the teeth. I would have done a lot less probably, but I think it looks better, okay, than it did before. So that's the whole thing. We want to, yeah, that's all we need to do. Okay. All right.